Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and yes, we're live tonight as we are each and every Thursday night. And thanks for watching. A busy show tonight with lots of information. People ask, how do we get our material for doing the show? Well, from a number of different ways. From talking to you when we're out in the community, from emails, from messages on Facebook and social media, and everywhere else. And we compile them all and sort of formulate a game plan as to what it is that's on people's minds and what kind of questions are they asking. And speaking of questions, the guy that knows all the answers, not regardless of what the question is, it's time for the Art Report.
Boy, if that ain't stretching the truth.
supposed to say,
you know,
no, wait a minute, you're supposed to sound like diplomatic and authoritative and say, why thank you.
I've always been shy. Listen to this one. I'm always coming up with stupid ideas, but they seem to work. So I'm watching TV, and they're predicting the end of the world with the ice storm. So I said, you know what? I'm sick of scraping. I got downstairs, and then I remembered we just put a new shower curtain on the shower, and I still had the old one. Well, I folded it over 4 times,
yes,
and it made an absolute perfect windshield cover for the storm.
You're brilliant. You know,
plastic, nothing stuck to it. It didn't go anywhere. Put the wipers over it. It was perfect.
Just like you, nothing sticks to you. It all just slides right off.
Just I don't know. It's crazy stuff. And I had an old floor mat out of my truck. Instead of throwing that out, I put it on the floor in the garage to the door that comes into the basement. I can wipe my feet on that. It's all ribbed, and it's perfect for taking the mud off.
You know, you say crazy ideas, but when you go into the stores now, they have entire stores that are as seen on TV. Everything in their store is things that are made like from those as seen on TV.
In my sidewalk snowblower, I took an old tote, just took the cover off, turned it upside down, and it covers the whole engine and all the components and keeps them dry. It's out there all winter long.
You need your own show.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yankee ingenuity.
It is. And you know Facebook?
Yes.
For finding people, you know, I did some research trying to find the old neighborhood, and I did. Don't I see a name on there the other day, and I said, wait a minute, I remember that name in 1968 when I started work at Digital in the mill.
Yes.
So I piped into it, and I said, are you so-and-so from Building 21-1? Comes back on, he says, I don't believe it. It was a guy I work with. I'm meeting him tomorrow for coffee. I haven't seen him since '68.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's wonderful.
Kevin Cormier started one for Victory Markets.
Yeah.
And I have just flashbacks reading and seeing some of the pictures, you know, from the days when I worked there. And, you know, as a kid, I worked there and just seeing some of the people so for that purpose, it's a good, and that's really what Facebook was supposed to be.
Yeah, some people carry it just so
then
far.
It just
you can say good morning and you'll find fault with that, you know.
It just gets painful. And, you know, and I said, even in my inauguration, I said a lot of people are leaving. And just yesterday they said, you know, the numbers are that people are just getting fed up with it. And you're like, you know what? You don't want to be depressed by it. You want to use it as a sort of happy thing, right?
Yeah, you're seeing more and more people get away from it just because of that negative sector of people out there that they're not happy unless they're not happy.
Right.
It is a quote. They're not happy unless they're not happy.
That's right.
And
yes.
I've been meaning to say this now for some time. My neighbor has a dog, and I love animals, but I don't have a dog. So I asked him, do you mind if I throw him a bone the kind you buy in the store? He said, no, absolutely. Well, now it's a game. I mean, the dog comes out every morning. If I'm not out there, he barks once. I hear him, I go out, I throw him a bone. It's a beagle, beautiful dog. Name is Kennedy. Well, I got a Christmas present from Kennedy, and it was brought at your store. It's an old sign that says Leominster, established 1740.
Wow, see, there you go.
Yeah, so Kennedy gave me that and a box of biscuits for him too.
Wow. You got
But
like
yeah, it's down here in my pub, which is all wooden walls with a barn board, so it's a perfect match.
look at you styling.
Oh, yeah, styling and profiling, and we got 50 more days or something like that, and we got to change the clocks again.
That's
that
it?
means only one thing:
Is that it? 51
a
days?
trip to Dick's to get some golf balls.
Wow. You're doing all right.
Yes. Having said that, I'm wrapping it up.
I
I
was
have
look-
to get up early.
I was
to
looking-
go meet that guy for coffee.
Let me know how it goes. A couple days
I will.
ago.
I've been making notes. I want to talk to him about things, and he you know what he does? He does this. His hobby. He goes on safari. Imagine that.
No, he'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Yes.
Where's he
Be
live?
fun.
Where's he living?
He's living in Lunenburg.
Oh, so
I never
he-
knew it.
he was
never
close
knew
by.
It. He was in Maynard, where I started, but now he's in Lunenburg.
Wow, how interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful.
Well-
So we're going to meet at the Dunkin' Donuts on Route 70, the new one.
Well, give us a full report when you call in
I
next week.
will. I will.
All right.
All right. See you, bud.
Over and out.
Keep the chin up.
Okay, chins up.
All right. Bye-bye.
978-537-7760. That's the number to call. If you have questions and you don't like to come on air, Carl will put up the email address. There it is, right, Carl? And there you go. And you can email us your question. We'll be glad to answer it for you. Sometimes people don't want to come on the air. That's fine. You can also message me, and we'll read off the question and get you an answer. So anyway, 978-537-7760 is the number to call, extension 3. And we're coming right back. And believe it or not, if you thought it was the end of football, you're wrong. This is the beginning of football season. Coming up right here on Inside Leominster. Be right back. Because the Fenwicks go to Puxatawny, Phil, every year when people gather to watch a rat, something wrong in this world when people gather to watch a rat.
Yeah, but
there's
in
nothing pretty.
Puxatawny,
There's
they
not.
party all night long.
There's not one lawn ornament of a rat or a rodent. There's not one movie made about a rat or a rodent. This is the world famous flamingo.
Ratatouille.
And this year, I want you to know, we have a male and female flamingo. This is the first time. This is a different world, and for both times we recognize there are 2 flamingos in every box. That's signed by... The only thing that was cold is my hands. It's only going to be a couple of seconds. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna count it
Ready.
down. Ready? 100. 20. 19.
18, 17, 16,
14, 13, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, gotta wait another minute. It's coming. Look it. So there's a good chance that the flamingo will see his shadow.
See your shadow.
My shadow doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Dean, if you come stand
Any
where I am,
moment.
I see 2 shadows back there on the flamingos.
The flamingo saw his shadow. That means 4 weeks. Head up to Target, get your catalogs out, get your new 2-piece bathing suits ready. Right, Tommy? And Sean, right? You guys ready? All right, all kids, come on up. We're going to get our picture taken. Come on, this is world famous. People from all over the world are watching this. Ready? All right, everybody. 1, 3, 2, 1. We're going to say world famous Featherstone flamingo. Ready? 1, 2, 3. World famous Featherstone flamingo saw his shadow. Tomorrow is rat day. Nobody cares. Watch cartoons.
Be nice.
Stay home. But it's the flamingo. And it just got an email. Nice knees. Ronnie? What kind of respect is that? Did we get lost here? See, we talked about my knees and we went off the air for a minute. Are we back on? There we go. Something happened. I mentioned my knees and off it went. And Ronnie, did you notice? Ronnie's here to my left here, right? Did you notice? There's Ronnie. Did you notice that I have my pink flamingo socks on? Did you notice it that day?
I did.
You didn't even zoom in. I think people just thought I was not fashionable.
I don't know. I thought maybe they'd stay away from the video or something like that. If I would have zoomed in, these maybe would have got voted off of Facebook.
Ruth, I know that was you teasing me. Ruth said it was me. I know it was you teasing me about my knees. I get that. Anyway.
When I posted it, we had over 500 views within about an hour on it.
And what's he pointing about? What is going on back there? Oh, hand signals. I don't know what they are. But maybe my next guest does. Christian Lopez is the athletic training director for the Mass Phoenix semi-pro football team.
Right.
And here you are, right after the Super Bowl.
Right.
Football, and so people thought, we're going to tuck the football away for now, we'll wait for I don't know, downhill skiing and all that.
Right. Nah.
And you're here to kind of get everybody in the mode of knowing that there's a semi-pro football team, and you guys played last year and had an excellent season.
Right, we did. So last year I played quarterback for the team last year.
Right.
We actually ended the season 7-3. Second seed into the playoffs. We actually made it to the semifinals game right before the big championship game. So.
And that's your first season.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a good foundation to start off from, and we're just looking to try to build from there.
And you had a good team, good players, a lot of talent.
Yep.
And
a lot of local guys too.
That's the part. Now we've had other teams, but the local part is sort of the encouraging part, that more people locally are playing, and that brings more people to the game.
Right, exactly. And we are looking to have a big recruiting class for this off season. We've already gotten into OTAs and practices and stuff like that.
Already, you started.
Yep. Our season always starts a little bit earlier. It starts with the end of May, early June.
So you got to be ready.
Right, exactly.
And so now you're going to be the athletic training coach, right?
So I'm working with them as far as quarterbacks. I'm doing a little bit of football consulting with them, just kind of helping come up with a playbook and fix some kinks, and work with some of the guys, just put them in a good situation to win next year.
Good job. And so if somebody's interested, or somebody knows somebody that's interested, who should they reach out to?
So we have a website. It's QB1mentality.com. On there, we work with all athletes, specializing in quarterbacks. We really try to slow the game down so they can pick up on the reads and stuff like that. Mechanics breakdowns. This is a lengthy program, so we really get them prepped ready for the upcoming season. Long-term goal is to get them ready for college.
Now tell us where you played football.
Originally I played football in New York at ASA Junior College, and that team was actually amazing. We ended up being like maybe 3 or 4 in the country.
Wow.
We ended up losing the game in the playoffs, so we didn't make it to the Natty, but. Got into some things there, ended up playing at Fitchburg State. I played quarterback there for a season and a half, messed up the shoulder, and then went over to play some corner defensive back. So that's the thing that we really are able to give to the kids, is that I kind of know both worlds and how to take advantage of technique flaws and things like that. So
especially when you play football and work your way up through bitty leagues, and then either Pop Warner or youth football.
Exactly.
And then you play for the high school team, and then you go off to college, and then maybe after that, maybe there's nowhere else to go at that point. You've decided you still want to have fun, you want to still play, and this is a perfect place to transfer into.
Exactly. The Mass Phoenix, especially in this area, I know Fitchburg and Leominster are a big football area. Good football history, so the guys that are out of high school and aren't looking to play college should definitely come out and see what the team is about. It's good camaraderie, good coaching.
And you got good coaches.
Right.
Manager, a lot of experience between the coaching staff.
Exactly.
I know John couldn't be here tonight. He wasn't feeling well.
Right.
But I know he's super pumped for this season.
Oh yeah.
Just by our visit in the office that day, he's all excited.
Right. I mean, how could you not be excited after that season we just had? Right?
What a way to start.
Right.
Well, the expectations were probably weren't all that high at the point.
Not
at
at
that
all.
point. And then other teams play that psychologically. That plays on them because they're like, what happened?
No, it was great, especially after the first game. We kind of got it handed to us after the first game, regrouped, and just kind of steamrolling after that.
You just saw. The Mass Phoenix organization plans to build on the storied football accomplishments of the teams who preceded them at historic Doyle Field. The team's mission will be simply to provide an opportunity for local men to continue their football careers while supplying the local fan base with a high level of athletic entertainment at a reasonable cost. And that's the mission.
Right.
And to have some fun.
Right, exactly.
Right?
See some football.
So again, if there's anybody interested at all, you can even contact our office and we'll get you the information should you not be able to sort of hang on to it tonight and have something to write on, or you see this as a replay. Just contact us and we'll hook you up with the right people. And the season starts in May, you said?
Right. End of May, early June.
Right down at Doyle Field,
Right.
which is a great place to play.
Exactly.
Right? Isn't that awesome to play
It's great
there?
down there. It's great down
And
there.
Fitchburg State had good facilities as well, right?
Yeah, Fitchburg State's great.
Really
It's my
nice
school,
over there too.
of course.
Yeah, there you go. So what do you do? What do you do for work?
So like I said, I'm a quarterback developer, football consultant. So I just kind of develop quarterbacks starting from.
So
the
you
age
made
of-
that like
Yeah.
your thing.
Yep.
Wow.
That's my
So
full-time
You
job.
get to
That's
do
what I'm doing.
something they love to do, and then you help other, you help other
Exactly.
kids.
Right. Just
Good
get to
for
be
you.
around football is great.
Good for you.
It's great.
You do it for as long as you possibly can,
I
right?
surely will.
It's the old, you never work a day in your life if you can
Right.
find something you love to do.
Exactly.
That's what I say, right? It's been
Right.
25 years of loving my job every day. And I'm like, they pay me on Thursdays? Like,
It's crazy.
I'm like, shh, don't tell anybody. Well, good luck to you and the team. We'll be down to see you this year. And I know you created a lot of buzz already just
Right,
by being
right.
out there. But anytime we can help you out with this, getting the word out, maybe just before the season starts again, and let us know.
Definitely
Good to
appreciate
see
it.
you. Take
Thanks,
care.
I'm here. Take
All
it
right.
easy.
You sure she doesn't want to come on over there? Where'd she go? She's
wanna go
taking
say hi?
pictures over there? Huh?
Yeah, she records for us.
Hey, that's good though. I mean, that's good. And that's the other thing is, in terms of the organization, there are a lot of places that one can help.
Right, exactly.
So many different pieces of the organization, and just promotion and communication and putting stuff up on social media and just
Right.
getting the word out.
Exactly.
All right, I know I got to get you out of here. I had a hard stop, so I
Right.
got to get you out of here.
Gotcha.
We're taking a short break, and we'll be right back. The-
Okay. All right, I want to welcome everybody here to WLPZ. We appreciate you all coming. And this is our official opening for the city of Leominster. And we hope many, many, many more years to come. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for everything you've done. And also, are we being recorded right now? We are.
NBC,
I wanna-
CBS, publicly listed are out.
I publicly want to thank Wendy for everything that she did way back in the beginning to make this all happen. If it wasn't for the Wendy and her vision and the mayor's vision of what they wanted to see here for the city of Leominster, this would never have happened. So
All those government
personally,
forms.
all the government forms and everything, I
FCC.
appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for everything you've done.
Before everybody freezes.
And here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! We have food and refreshments inside.
We have a certificate here for you.
Oh, you
It's
do?
the official grand opening. As I said to Sonny many times.
All right, there we are. As I said to Sonny many times. The interesting thing, and again, we're back here at Inside Leominster. Dean Mazzarella is my name. We're going to put the phone number, email if you want to email us with any questions. And I do have a few here that I can put up that we took in. But what I wanted to say is we had applied and received one of the last low-powered radio station licenses. And we had been watching low-powered radio for years. We had a Google alert, and anything that came up that I would check their website, the FCC. And then finally was our opportunity to put in for it. And Wendy Weeks is the grand administrator for the city. Immediately we put in for it, worked with the emergency management, and we were awarded what they tell us was the last official low-powered radio station in the country that they were issuing. And so once we got it, began to start, it was in the newspaper and a couple of trade magazines. And of course, all these people that are in this sort of radio stations, low-powered and regular, saw it, must have been on their Google alert, and they saw it and called me, and we had a number of lengthy conversations about local radio stations. And what they said is, listen, be patient, don't think that you're going to, be a full-fledged radio station. you know, right away. It's going to take several years, up to 5 years, to get a radio station up and running. And when we first ran, we had to get on the air. That was part of the whole thing, is we only had a limited amount of time to get on the air. So Carl here at LATV and Alan and Mark, the engineer, and Wendy got together, and Joe Poria, the city electrician, and we basically were standing in front of one microphone and a small switchboard. It consisted of basically an on and off switch, and hooked up the repeater and the tower, and that's what we started broadcasting immediately. Then Sonny came into the picture, developed a huge group, a huge team of people, and of various talents that were helping us out at the station. And I can just tell you that everybody that I talked with later on as a follow-up said, I can't believe how far you've gotten so far at the radio station. We really thought it would take much longer, and usually does, but not here. They had a good organization, great people, and Sonny at the lead, and here we are, and it's quite a radio station. I think we can show some film later on, or maybe you already did, Ron, in terms of what the station looks like. It looks like a full-fledged radio station that's been here for 10 years. So anyway, 95.1 WLPZ is the name of the station. It's an FM station, and you can pretty much hear it, you know, throughout the area. Anyway, let's put up the phone number. We will, Carl, whenever you're ready. Yeah, oh, thanks. Carl's bringing me water. He's the best. Carl, it was your birthday the other day.
Yeah.
And so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Are you a birthday guy? Birthdays don't bother you or anything?
I don't do birthdays.
You don't?
No.
So it's not a big deal to you. It's like me. It's not a big deal. And
Yeah, I was never a big birthday type person, you know,
so what is big to you? Christmas big or anything? I mean, do holidays upset you? Is too much commotion or what?
I don't know. You know, I'm not like that. I'm always,
Valentine's Day?
I'm always looking at the past. You know, I'm always looking back in time. You know what I'm saying?
You'd rather do that?
Yeah.
Look back in time.
Yeah.
Looking back in time makes you happy? It's fond memories of the past?
Yeah. Just re-enjoying, you know, revisiting early times, different times, you know. Life was like back then. Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Well, remember we had the Historic Commission on, and Ron was here. We were talking about early days of downtown. And what I found, though, what I learned is they had tons of people and tons of small mom and pop businesses.
Yes.
So there might be 4 jewelry stores downtown and 2 record places and all kinds of drugstores and all that. And it was enough to keep everybody, and everybody made a living.
Right.
But what I found is there wasn't that many, like, functions. There weren't like festivals and everything that we did.
No.
So there was like the big thing I remember is that guy Fitzgerald. Remember the WLMS?
Right.
And they would do old-fashioned bargain days.
Yeah.
And that's when you pretty much, you know, put the tables
Right.
out front, and they had popcorn and balloons, and WLMS would come out front. And
Nick Pirro and his
Pirro
station
with the station wagon with the speakers
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
And that was such a, remember it was such a big thing?
It was cool.
To have like a live broadcast
Yeah.
from downtown.
You know, before there was radio and TV, if you go back to the early days in the early 1900s, there was a lot of events downtown. They had parades every other.
Yes, they had a lot of parades,
stuff, you know?
but there weren't things like the Johnny Appleseed
No,
Parade.
not
but
festivals like
there were
that.
more like pride sort
Yeah,
of things,
yeah.
showing off the
Right,
military and the
right.
Women's Auxiliary
Exactly,
and the American
yeah.
Legion and the Moose
Labor
Club
Day
and
and
Labor
different-
Day was
yeah,
big.
yeah.
Those kinds of things were a
Yeah.
celebration and pride of
Yeah.
a community. And then, like anything else, it changes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there were 7 or 8 Italian clubs in town
Yeah,
at
there
one
were,
time,
yeah.
and there was the Moose and
Yep.
the Lions and the Francos. And
yeah.
now there's still some, but it's not. Some of them.
different.
There's not that much. People maybe work different shifts
Right.
now, so they can't attend the when
Right,
they're open at
exactly.
night or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. But my memories of downtown will always be,
Yeah.
going downstairs to look at records and things at Sabatelli's and
Yeah.
just all of it.
It was funny. Just today I posted something on Facebook. Ron had donated some footage his grandmother took at downtown in the 1960s. It's only a minute long,
Right.
but we were able to stabilize the footage, and we added some sound effects to make it sound. And it adds so much when you put like ambient sound to an old film.
Because there was noise trucks coming
Right.
by, horns
And
tooting.
it adds so much. If you go to Facebook on the Leominster.tv site, you can watch it. But it's cool. You can like relive what it was like in 1960 to
Right.
be downtown.
That was community.
The cars going around the monument, and And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Even if you weren't down there to buy anything, you were down there to be part of the action.
Exactly,
People didn't
yeah.
have cell phones and all that,
No,
so
no.
they might have come downtown just to, maybe their friends drove around
Right.
and saw them and pulled over, and
Exactly.
or maybe they were, people came by bus and then stayed
it was-
there and.
I mean, there was a lot of bus activity in those days. When the trolleys were done, the buses took over. Constant buses coming back and forth
Right.
from downtown.
Right,
all
moving
the time.
people from all over.
Yeah.
So those are good things to hang on
Yeah.
to. I think those are the things that when people get nostalgic, it's how can't you? Because it was such an important part of
It was. It
city
was. It was
life. That's what we're trying to bring back downtown, is little by little, with trying to bring back more
Right.
shopping, more shopping experiences, more little,
Yeah.
gift places and mom and pop shops and little
Yeah.
restaurants.
I
and
mean, you're doing it. It's
Getting there.
happening. You're getting there. And
restaurants.
pretty soon they're gonna have to be like Vegas, close off town, put a bubble over
Yeah.
it, and it'll just be a walk,
Wow.
an experience.
And that's what, if you remember in the 60s, when Ben Feeney and Schwartz and,
Yep.
Those guys owned property downtown,
Yep.
they were so worried about the mall
Yeah.
because they had property and their business was downtown. And who would want to, who would think the unraveling of downtown would happen, and it would give way to, this thing called the mall.
Yeah.
And when they first started building the mall, I remember, everybody was panicking and also trying to look to the future to say, where are we going to be?
Right.
Where were we going to be? And I remember even Jack Shoes moved down. I don't know if they closed downtown or they just had one downtown and moved to the mall.
Yes.
Remember there were
Yep.
a couple of places that said, no, we got to go with the flow. We got to move.
the mall.
We got to go to the mall, right?
That was the big deal back then.
It was.
It's starting to turn around.
It's
the
turned
other way.
around. I think it's turned
You know,
around.
it's
in a
funny.
big
We
way.
had Tina's relatives came over from Italy and visit us for a few days, and they saw, they visited New York and Boston, but they saw how Leominster was, and they said, we can't get over in Italy. We walk everywhere. We walk downtown. We're always strolling and walking around. And they said, Leominster is the only city, in the big cities, there's a lot of people walking downtown, but they were happy to see that Leominster has, a lot of that still going on.
Little
here.
parks
But they're
and-
amazed that people drive everywhere, that everything is so big and you got to
Right.
drive everywhere. You can't walk everywhere,
Right.
take a scooter everywhere.
Right.
You have to drive everywhere.
Right.
But-
Nothing's connected. It's just
Yeah.
sort of sprawled out,
Right.
pushed out.
Right.
Yeah, it is an interesting
Yeah.
sort of observation. And Europe is much different.
It is.
Walking paths to the downtown. Even
they
if you
walk
live a quarter of a
everywhere.
mile away, there's a path that brings you to the
Exactly.
downtown.
Exactly.
And I think we just went wild with the automobile. Just
Yep.
changed everybody's life. And again, people could get to the mall. It was indoors and, in clement weather, you
Right.
could get down there. And it just, it was a regional mall, so people came from all over. And it had indoor restaurants and everything. So you could see the change.
In the
and-
old days, everybody lived and worked within a half mile of town.
Well, this place, there was 18 buildings,
Yeah.
all part of the Doyle Works. All these apartments, all these buildings around here were really built for the employees.
That's it.
French Hill,
There's
right?
over 1,000 workers in this building alone.
Right.
So.
And when Doyle owned it, there were 18 buildings. All these brick
Yeah.
buildings were part of that
Yeah.
Doyle Works.
Well, if you go back further, the Doyle Works, there was 100 buildings here, 100 different buildings, some small
Right, right,
outbuildings and
right.
stuff. But there was 100 buildings under that Doyle Works banner, This was building number 100, the one we're in right
Imagine
now.
that.
It's-
Just-
you look at it, there are some aerials that exist of the Doyle Works, and it's just amazing when you see it. And people worked here, and they walked back and forth to work.
Mm-hmm.
They got out, went home, walked to work.
And lived the American dream because they had a
Snow,
job.
Didn't matter.
Right, but they had a job, they had a house
Yeah,
or a place
yeah,
to live,
yeah.
they worshipped, right?
They could
went-
shop right downtown, get
Or-
everything they need.
Or there were little villages of, like
Yes.
3rd Street was
Right.
like its own.
Yeah, if they
sort of
needed
French Hill
groceries
was
or food, they could.
Corner stores
Yeah,
all over the
corner
city.
stores everywhere.
And then it just sort of all went away to bigger and better
yeah.
things. And
But you're right, the automobile, the car changed everything, how people. see
But
things.
slowly, new restaurant on Mechanic Street will be opening, I think, in the next couple of months.
Yep.
Peter Bovenzi did a beautiful job. I mean, he left no stone unturned in that building.
Right.
It's the old Plymouth Cafe,
Yep.
Fenwick's, and then where the old next to Anderson Bagley Insurance.
Yes.
They're very close to starting. That should go anytime. Andy said, within a month or two, or maybe sooner, he'll be ready to go.
Nice.
And then the Italian furniture importer place we're going to do a grand opening there, I think, next week. And so little by little, the shops are starting to come, things for people to come, and there's got to be a reason for people to come downtown. And honestly, we have in my business, we have a lot of from town who are just driving by, and they're like, and once you get inside, you're like, wow, I didn't realize this place existed. And then a bead store next to us, a dress store next to that. There are a lot of things that people just, you drive by, and you really got to keep your eye on the road. So people don't see the signs, or a lot of times they look and like, what's in there? So
Well, you and I remember as kids, we did all our shopping downtown.
right.
To the shoe store right next
Warner's.
door was the Giovanni's Market. You
Yep.
go in there and get your cold cuts and your meat. And
Western
everything was
Auto.
right downtown. Everything was there. Western Auto, get your jackets, you get your clothes, Rubens. Everything was downtown.
Luckily,
That's where we shop.
we still have Allen's.
Yes,
And they do
yeah.
quite a bit. I'll tell you, they stayed with the times and went in there this holiday season and bought some things. And it was just fun to go in there. And
It was.
Anybody we give a tour to the city to, we bring them through, and they're just amazed.
Right.
They're like,
Right.
I can't believe this still exists here. So what we need is some more people to invest. And, I'd love,
Yeah.
my dream is still to start an ice cream shop and maybe
That would be
soup in the
nice.
winter
Yeah.
and ice cream in the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And just looking for the right spot to do that.
Yeah.
The other ones I've seen are either too big or too small, but still looking. That's kind of a dream, but you never know when
get
something
there.
might open up. But little by little,
There's been so many ribbon cuttings, as you know,
it's
recently. It's
unbelievable.
crazy.
We had a meeting the other day, and this far surpasses any time in history.
What was it?
All the way back to the Clarence Daniels days, when he was head of the chamber, and Larry Poirier and those guys. This far surpasses, I was talking to Nikki today, our economic developer, and she just said, I'm getting, 8 to 10 calls a day. 8 to 10 calls a day. And the biggest problem now is trying to fit people. So what happens is, like me, I'm looking for a place to do, say, ice cream and soup
Right,
and that kind of
right.
thing. Well, the places I've looked at are either too big or too small, or the configuration isn't
Yeah.
set up, or it's too costly to bring in the infrastructure and grease traps and all of that. So you kind of look for something that might have some of those things in there. And then, so that's the thing, is people have this business plan, they have the capital to do it, and it's just trying to fit them in,
Yeah.
you know,
In a-
like
in a
right
place,
away.
yeah.
And things don't stay empty for long.
Well, the trick is, you got to start small. Start small. Go in a little hole in the wall, you start there. And
But I'm looking for the hole in the wall. Can't even find
Yeah,
that.
no, you can't find
the
them
wing guy moved out of down. In
Yeah,
fact, we went to
yeah,
that opening.
yeah.
He did a beautiful job. I don't know if we see pictures of that this week, but he did such a nice job there.
I think we have it in the video.
He's
of it.
been
We
out
could
of there
show
for a
it.
month or so, and already somebody wants to rent his little, that
Yeah.
little space there
Yeah.
at the corner of Graham and Central Street. So,
Right.
and everywhere we go, there's a place down by the mall that isn't even empty yet, and it's already taken.
See?
It isn't even. They haven't even moved out yet.
I don't know. It's a good sign. I don't know what it means, but
Well, good location. I think
Yeah.
we've created a business-friendly community where I think it's everybody gets treated
Right.
well, and even if it's something that isn't zoned properly, you get treated with respect, and people try to help you. Maybe it doesn't fit here, but let's bring you here. It's the customer service part. It's a whole bunch of things, and I think it all works. And
does.
once you get that synergy going, that energy, you get to the tipping point where, like, all of a sudden everybody wants to come, and
Right.
we're getting very close to.
Yeah.
Can you find me a spot? Every day it's somebody coming in,
good.
multiple,
It's amazing.
endeavors, and we can't always accommodate everybody. We try really hard, but sometimes the rent is too high, or there's not enough space, but we certainly try.
well, I'm getting over a cold, so before I have a coughing fit,
Happy birthday!
I'm going to leave you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday!
Okay.
I know you're always at least a year older than me,
Yeah.
right? You graduated a year than me, so I can always count on that. Okay, hey, let's do Kyle. I'm going to try this out. So Kyle gave me. After all these years, I've been trained. We're going to do photos of the week. Do I just start anywhere?
Let's cut to it, and then
Okay. Let's cut to photos of the week. Get my glasses on. Pictures of the week. We should have a little sound there, huh? Photos of the week. And just hit my right button, Kyle. Oh, look at that. There's our new snow equipment. How'd it work? These guys did just a magnificent job. I'll tell you, these are big machines, and they move a lot of snow. And you really got to be careful in these, because they are like they're like bulldozers. They can go through just about anything. But they were out there during the storm, and they were there after, and they were opening up all the sidewalks in the city. And great job. I don't know how many. We got 2 brand new small ones that we use in the downtown area and some of the side streets, and put a couple new guys in them, and they just did a great job. So thank you to the DPW. Nice job. Next photo, please. Oh, there it is. So no sooner was the storm over, and there's our DPW out there clearing snow. So they come back, they start removing all the piles of snow in the parking lots, removing some of the snow in some of the crosswalk areas. And, you know, we had a sizable 8 to 9 inch storm this particular day, and ended up with some sleet and et cetera. But you know what? They're always prepared, and they always do a good job. And we've got some good equipment out there, thanks to the taxpayers of the city who support us, and a city council that supports our endeavors. And there we are. Martin Luther King event. And it was really nice. It was 2.5, 3 hours, and a lot of good speakers and a lot of good thoughts. And they started off with a morning brunch. But this is, I think, the 17th Martin Luther King Day event. And I know there'll be an 18th. And thanks to the UU Church for allowing us to use their church space every year. Okay, hold on, I'm new at this. I'm hitting the right button. Oh, there we go. Happy 100th. We went to see Sister Ann, originally from Clinton, Massachusetts, and she turned 100, and I'll tell you, we were over at the Sisters of Presentation. What wonderful ladies, and what a happy bunch they are, and it's great to have them in our community. Every one of them devoted themselves to service above self, and giving back to their communities and their Catholic faith. And so it was really special. There were so many people that remembered her in the Clinton community, and so many of the sisters over at the Sisters of Presentation. And let me tell you, they're connected to our community. They know everything that's going on in our community. So it was great to go visit them over there just behind St. Leo's for the 100th birthday of Sister Ann. And there we are inside WLPZ. That's a little snapshot of what the new radio station looks like. And I don't know, Kyle, what do you think? That's as good as any radio station I've been in. And they've got monitors inside and all state-of-the-art equipment, streaming live so you can listen to it from anywhere. Here we are. You saw a little video of the actual opening of WLPZ and the ribbon cutting, and there I am presenting a proclamation. And there we are. I was just talking about Super Wings over there on Whitney and Middle Street. And yes, so there we are. And I'll tell you, they used to be at Central and Graham. What a hardworking family, clean inside. They've done a great job, great food.
We have a clip of that if you want to see it.
Go ahead.
Like a minute.
If you don't mind showing it, can you do it over
Sure.
my
Yeah, we can do
picture?
it
Okay.
right now.
Oh, you guys are high tech.
All right, we're going to count you back from 3, and then you guys are going to cut. We're just going to keep it straight. We're going to keep this full tight. Okay? Ooh, sorry.
Get that right.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, all right. Good job. Wait a minute, is that a penny? Wait a minute.
I found the
Breaking news. Lucky penny right there. See?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We have a little citation here for you. Everybody knows this business because they used to be on Central Street. And then they came here and you bought the building and fixed it all up. And they work very, 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 very hard. We're happy to have you as part of our community, but more importantly, happy to see that you've grown the business. And now they're here right at the intersection of Whitney. It's like a little commercial. Whitney and Middle Street. And everybody already knows where you are anyway, but there might be a few people that don't. So we just want to give you a little citation, thanking you for choosing our community and growing your business here, and wish you the best. Let's go eat wings.
See that? They were coming in by plane. Did you hear that plane coming in? So great job. You know, it's really impressive, and it feels good when you see, you know, a family and young people. It costs a lot of money to open a business today, especially in the restaurant business. They bought that building, and they work hard. They put a lot of hours in and deliver a great product. And it's just so nice to see businesses like this. And just what Kyle and I was speaking to a little while ago, that's what Leominster's fabric was. That's what we were made up of. Small mom and pop, homegrown cottage industry businesses that grew and grew to the next level. And, they're at their second step. And I can only think that better things for them will be coming because they're hardworking and good, honest people, put out a good product. And a thank you to the Chamber. You see some of the Chamber people that are there, the ambassadors. The Chamber of Commerce always attends our grand openings. They have an ambassador program where the various staff from various businesses come out and help to celebrate those grand openings. So thanks to Roy and the whole staff there at the Chamber of Commerce. Here we are down at this is our technical meeting? Yeah, this is our technical, it says technical wings. Anyway, this is a technical meeting we have downstairs at the City Council chambers. This particular day we were talking about a new facility that's going to be going on Tanzio Road. And this is a facility that will take mostly, or I think a good deal of construction debris, and what they do is they bundle it a number of times, they package it, it's put on trains and then hauled outside the area to be brought to various other landfills or states. And first, whatever they can recycle will be taken out of that material and then off onto trains. So that's our technical review process. There we are. So this is our meeting with the neighbors up around the high school where we're going to be putting the new alumni field. And we had promised them that we go back to the drawing board, and we spent a lot of time trying to work out some of the recommendations and concerns that they had. I think we did a good job, and I think they think that we've spent a lot of time and really tried to address every single issue that we could. And so now the next step is we'll be going to the City Council on Monday night. I think it's the 11th. And invited the school committee members as well to participate. And at that time, we'll share them the new revised plan. The other thing, Coach Palazzi had made some other recommendations in the process while we were working on some of the revisions, and actually come up with some really good ideas about changing one of the fields around to make it an all-purpose field so you could use it for more than just, say, baseball or soccer. And it's really going to be an all-purpose field. And so that was another positive thing that came out of the little bit of a delay. Was really not a delay, but more work spent on a more technical piece of the plan. So once this is complete and we have our final meeting with the City Council, then we'll go back to the drawing board, put all the final details in place. There's a lot of permitting that needs to be done, and then eventually the project will go out to bid. And our fingers are crossed to get good bids, good prices. And so here we are, Garden Mania. This is our first year, and inside City Hall, and a number of vendors showed up to participate. And I have to say, we had a lot of fun. It was cold. It was a very cold night, but yet, and we had some cold weather and freezing ice. And when we got there, it was a real opportunity to kind of feel like we were at the Botanic Gardens. And all the vendors did a great job, providing displays. And had a lot of knowledge, could answer just about any question that you could ask them about indoor and outdoor plantings. So it was a very successful evening, and we thank all of those vendors and all of you for showing up, and Ron and Carl and Alan for giving us the opportunity to, and Bradley was there, I think, as well, give us the opportunity to bring this to your home if you couldn't be there. And the world famous flamingo saw his shadow, which means only 4 weeks to spring. So get up to Target. 2-piece bathing suits are out already. Towels are out. Lawn chairs. Go to Lowe's or Home Depot. And they already got. That's because spring is coming early, so you should start to plan on it. We had a lot of fun that day. There we are again, posing. My jacket comes from Mr. Joe Goodhue from. Used to own the building where CVS is in the corner of Central and Graham Street. He used to sell docks. Is that what they call them? Docks, like to dock your boat and all of that. He's also the inventor of the first frozen pizza dough or bread dough. He used to take it out, put it in a pan, throw a towel over it. It came in a blue package with white lettering, and that was Joe Goodhue. And if that wasn't enough, we weren't, but Wendy was invited because this is a ladies-only event, and they were at the Pilgrim Church Tea. It was a great afternoon of current and former Leominster students performing and great tea and snacks. And again, it was a ladies-only event, but what a wonderful afternoon it was, I hear. And last but not least, on the left is Ralph Sacramone. Some of our veterans taking Rocky out for his voyage rollout at Rockwell Pond. So he's there now. And so here's the deal. If you're new to town or you never heard of this program, you can buy chances and guess when Rocky is going to fall through the ice. They're $5 for 2, $10 for 5. So you can go to www.facebook.com, Leominster Ice Out, and you can also go to Leominster City Hall or the Veterans Center. Take your guess as to when Rocky will fall in. Okay, that's our photos. Thanks, Carl. That was pretty good. That was our photos of the week, and happy to share that with you. And that's just a sample of the things that we're doing, outside activities that we're doing during the course of the week. But again, if you are interested in starting a business, maybe it's just an idea and you need a little space somewhere. We have space at the Gallagher Building in the incubator space. It's called Start, where we can get you going. And then hopefully we can get you the expertise, the training, the financing to make a transition from that location to another location that maybe is more visible when you're ready for it. And they do a great job of supporting and helping out. The rents are extremely reasonable. So if that's your thing and you really like to get out there and to start a business, maybe it's a hobby, you want to take it to the next level. You know, a lot of businesses start from a hobby that's taken to the next level. It's in your home or your attic or your basement or a friend's house. And then you're ready for that next step. Well, that's what Start's all about. Give us a call, 978-534-7500. We'll put you in touch with someone from Start. I have itchy eye. So let's see what's coming up next. Leominster Restaurant Week, just to put on your calendar, February 17th through February 23rd. The indoor drive-in movie, Wednesday, February 20th. Setup is at 5:15. Movies at 6:30. Once Upon a Time is Friday, February 22nd from 10 to 3. And if you would like to help sponsor financial assistance, we do this all on, sponsorships and the little amount of money that we're able to put together. So you got $5, $10, $20 you'd like to give to help sponsor either one of the drive-in events or the Once Upon a Time. Again, give us a call at City Hall, or you can just mail that check to City Hall. Be glad to have you there. The Box Top program continues. So there are a number of products that you can help to cut out. So all you do is look for these products, such as Kleenex tissue bundles, Scott bath tissues, paper towels, flushable cleansing cloths, Green Giant fresh herbs, fresh vegetables. The list just goes on and on and on. And you could cut those box tops off, and that means money for the schools. They're having a challenge, trying to get as many box tops as possible so they can turn them in and split the money up with the different PTOs of the school. Rescue at the Drake House. That's 21 Franklin Street, right in Leominster. Visit the historic parlor of the Drake House. That's Saturday, February 16th, 1 to 4. Celebrate the 168th anniversary of the rescue of Shattuck Minkins, where it all took place. The rescue of Minkins on the Underground Railroad in February of 1851 was the first test case under the new fugitive slave law. The defiance of the law by Mrs. Drake and others sent shockwaves across the nation. It was one of the causes of the Civil War. Come here, historian Mark Bonanza described the event and see the Drake House and some important artifacts. Admission is open to the public and free of charge. Sponsored by Leominster Historical Society and the City of Leominster Mayor's Office. Hope to see you there. It's be a lot of fun, and Mark does a great job of taking this history and sharing it with you, and you'll actually be in the physical location of where it happened. Leominster Public Schools is doing something really neat this year. They are, instead of doing their like one day, all day registration for preschool, and school, preschool, they are doing a student enrollment kindergarten registration on it looks like appointments begin on February 26th. So anyway, you could call the school department at 978-534-7700. And you could download enrollment forms by going to leominsterschools.org. And what will happen is they will set you up a specific appointment. They'll be waiting for you when you come in. So I think it'll be a lot faster. It'll be less waiting, less lines. And, you got kids with you sometimes, and they're a little bit, anxious and restless and bored. It takes away from the experience, and they really want you to come and get a chance to talk to you and learn a little bit about learn a little bit more about you and your family. Just a couple of minutes left here at Inside Leominster. If you'd like to call, do have some emails to answer. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think we're okay. So this is one of the concerns. We really haven't had a lot of problems with trash pickup. I think the trash company does a good job. We do a good job. But for some reason lately, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, it just seems like there's a lot of overflow, that people are putting things that should be recycled in the trash bin and things that should be in the trash bin in the recycling bin, and they're doing this stacking thing. It's almost like how they stack rocks, and they're adding more, the lid's up, and they just keep adding more and more trash. And so the answer to that is to go to Leominster Health Department and to get some overflow bag, and they're like $3 a piece, and you get 5 for 15 or whatever the amount is. But they're really big bags, and I know people will say, well, we pay our taxes, we should be able to put out exactly what we want. But the reality is, we do pick up just about everything. And if you put a bureau out front, we'll pick it up. If you put a living room chair out, we'll pick those things up. And we're really liberal about it. We've been really good about the program. But lately, it's really been a problem. It's more now noticeable than ever. And it just becomes more and more expensive. And it's not, we have a certain amount allocated in the budget to pick up trash. So we really urge you to, and sometimes there's actually been like physical confrontations out there between the trash haulers and the customers, and so we don't want it to turn into that. And so if it's really not that much money, I know it's $3 a bag, and some families use it more often. Some people are in regularly and say, look, I use more than my allotment. I don't mind paying the $3. That's not a problem, but we've just got to get it under control. And the other thing is that people are leaving things out on the curb. So trash day is on Tuesday, but they're putting a couch out on Thursday, and then everyone has to look at that on the street. If nobody's going to pick it up the first day, chances are nobody's going to come and take it for free. And you can post it on Facebook and social media and all these free sites. But we urge people to be responsible and use common sense. Yes, common sense applies, and that's a good way to leave that subject, is just to say, just common sense applies. The trash barrels are pretty big. Most households can fit in most recyclables and trash, but if not, you go down to City Hall and get a overflow bags. They're $3 a piece, and Chris Knuth showed them at the event we had at City Hall last week at Garden Mania, and you know what? They're pretty big, and they're pretty hefty. So you just put them out the curb, and again, people have raved about them and said, you know what? I use them when I need them, and for $3, I can fit a whole lot into them. This weekend, if you haven't seen the notice, it's time for Pink in the Rink. It's the 8th annual Pink in the Rink, and I'll be there. It's hosted by the Cub Crusaders. It's a fundraiser for them, and the game is at the Centrum. Is it still called the DCU Center? And the Worcester Railers will be playing, and you don't want to miss it. And the game starts at 7. It goes to about 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We were just talking about trash. Remember, put this date on your calendar. It's an important date, May 11th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 1. It will be a free recycling event, and here are the things that you'll be able to bring. You'll be able to buy your overflow trash bags. Countertop compost bins will be $5. Outside compost bins are $45. Rain barrels are $65. Items that will not be accepted: no hazardous waste, no medications, bulk plastic, propane tanks, oil-based paint, no auto, rechargeable, or household batteries. We have a place for household batteries down at down at City Hall in front of the Health Department. Save the date. February 23rd is a Saturday night for the Leominster High School Jazz Band. And they were going to be putting on their Icicle Ball. And they do that every year, and it's a fundraiser for them. And so if you can make it, you can buy a table. There are cocktail hours at 7, dining and dancing 7 to 10, silent auction. Maybe there's something you can donate to the silent auction. To purchase tickets, please contact Leominster High School Leominster High School Music Boosters by going to Leominster Music Boosters 01453@gmail.com. Let me just check there was another email that I saw here, and I don't want to go too far. Oh, when's Popeyes going to open? See, the things that are important. Popeyes, just, it should be pretty quick. They've got the building enclosed. I'd say another month or two, and they should be, they should be open. Don't forget, Rec Department is looking for summer help. You can call them at 534-7529. They also have a fax and a website. Call Judy Sumner or one of the ladies that work at the Rec Department, 534-7529. You can download an application by going to the city's website, leominster-ma.gov. Look under Recreation Department. They will hook you up. And you know what? It's a fun job for the summer, and they're looking for people now. And it's people will, before the program starts, and ask me if if there are any jobs open. Well, they fill them really early because they really need to depend on college students and students to arrive somewhere around late May and June. Fast Athletics will offer a variety of structured sports and activities each day, as soccer, and this is going to be during February vacation. Mat ball, basketball, dodgeball, and kickball. The program will begin with proper stretching or warm-ups. Each day will end with high-energy game tournaments with sports played during the day. Dates are February 19th to the 22nd, Tuesday to February 19th to Friday the 22nd. Times are 9 to 3, ages are 7 to 12. Cost is $105 per person. Location is Samoset School. Then they also have a volleyball clinic for girls. And anyway, people start thinking about school vacations and what you can do with those kids. I'm not sure what the weather will be, but either way, we offer programs. Also check the Leominster Public Library because they offer a number of different programs as well. And let's see. Yeah, Leominster Public Library, there's just so many different events that they have. There's just a list of them, and the best thing you could do is go to our website, which will link you to their website. Hey, there's somebody that's missing Leominster and missing home. How about the Leominster blanket? How about the Leominster blanket? Maybe we can get this one for Fran Prepozeski. Anybody in my office watching that? I can donate one to Fran because she's going through a procedure right now, a medical procedure, and I see her with her Harley Davidson blanket. I think it's time that we get her a Leominster historic blanket. They're $40, $50 a piece. And there we go. I guess we're going to sign off, Kyle. Hey, thank you, everybody. We have lots more to talk about. Could only get to some of it tonight, but we'll be back probably with a special pre-taped version of Inside Leominster for next week. Out of time here. Thank you all for coming in on this beautiful Thursday, rainy, misty blue night. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You need to show up. Good night.